Chapter 5. In the last episode, we got a better insight into the characters in the beats from the Heart story and the area where they live. Now we are going back to hear much more about Oscar's musical journey, but we are also going to hear more about how things went with the group of friends down by the lake. It was Friday, and Oscar had not been to school today. He had not slept much that night, now that he had finally made an appointment with Rosie's work colleague who was going to help Oscar learn how to mix music on his computer. Unfortunately, that's how it is sometimes when you have ADHD, so your thoughts are constantly running around and you are maxed out on what interests you at the moment. And for Oscar, music is what fills his whole world at the moment, so he has been up all night thinking about what should happen when he meets him, the music guy. Yes, that's what Oscar calls him, since he doesn't know his name yet. It was 4 p.m. It was time to leave. Oscar was really excited not only to finally learn more about mixing, but also the trip there on his new moped, which he was very happy with. It drove so well, and Oscar often just drove around without having to go anywhere, but it was also starting to get a bit expensive for gas now that he didn't have a job. Oscar had asked several people he knew if they needed help. Unfortunately, there was no job available for Oscar yet. On the way to the music guy, Oscar discovered that there was another music store. It looked newer. Maybe they were lucky that they had more dance music than the one Eva worked in. Oscar wanted to visit it next week and see if there was more Eurodance music. Finally, Oscar arrived at the music guy's address. It was a nice property, and it seemed like a nice area he lived in. Oscar rang the doorbell. A tall man in his mid-20s opened the door and said, "Hello, come in, thank you." Oscar replied back, "And thank you for having the time to show me how to get better at mixing." "It's my pleasure," replied Andrew. And yes, that was the name of the music guy, apparently. It was a small 2-bedroom apartment. Andrew had a larger music setup in the living room. It looked expensive. Oscar got really nervous now. "Did you have to have all that equipment just to make music?" he asked Andrew. No, he replied. "That's only if you're a professional. You can make do with your computer and the music software you already have." "Now," replied Andrew. "Shouldn't we just get started?" said Andrew. "That sounds like a good idea," replied Oscar. The next few hours, Andrew showed how to use the software and where on the internet you could find a cappella songs, samples, beats, and not least, the instrumental songs that were important for the mix to sound good. Oscar thought it was okay, easy, what he was shown in the music program. He was otherwise nervous that he wouldn't understand any of it, now that he wasn't that good at school. But sound waves, sound levels, and beats per minute were obviously something that Oscar had a hidden talent for. After sitting for a couple of hours, Andrew thought that it was enough for today. Oscar should be able to remember what he had learned. We can always meet again in a few weeks when you have worked more on the mix yourself. Then we can take a look at it and I can teach you how to master the mix so that the sound level will be absolutely perfect. After Oscar got home, he ate a quick sandwich. Now he was going up to his room and mix the rest of the evening. The internet wasn't very fast back then, so Oscar was lucky that Andrew had given him some samples and other useful audio files on a CD-ROM that he could use. Damn. It took many hours just to mix 4 to 5 songs together for a mini-mix. The tracks were between 30 seconds and 1 minute long. Some mega mixes contained almost entire tracks. Oscar wasn't so keen on those. He was more into mixes where there was 1 track per minute, along with various samples. Back then, many mega mixes were 75 minutes long when they were released on CD, and that was all there was room for on a regular CD. Later, you could buy CDs that were 80 minutes long, not like today where everything is online and digital. There are some mixes that are up to 4 hours long. The next day, it was Saturday. The sun was shining and the weather was great, perfect for a swim in the lake with Jack, Isabella, and Eva. At 2 p.m., all 4 of them met. Isabella didn't have a swimsuit on. She wasn't in the mood to swim, as she was a bit unsure about the new people she was going to meet. "That's totally okay," said Jack. "You're cool enough and we won't bite," laughed Jack. Eva was looking forward to a couple of hours in the water. The red swimsuit fit like it was sewn on. Oscar was completely besides himself. He was used to see Ava with more clothes on. Jack could see that Oscar was very interested in Ava. Jack didn't get much attention, so he started talking to Isabella, who was just sitting on the green grass looking at all the people having fun in the water. "Are you okay?" asked Jack. Isabella replied, "Yes, yes. It's just when there are a lot of people I don't know that I get a little nervous. Oscar is usually good at calming me down, but he's busy with Eva, I see." Isabella smiled. "Yes, he is," Jack replied back. "Is that a problem?" Jack asked. "No, no," Isabella laughs. "We're just really good friends. I don't have those thoughts about Oscar at all. I'm more into taller sports-type guys with short hair." Jack looks at Isabella a little strangely. Since that description fit me, Jack thought, maybe she was trying to tell me something. In the next chapter. Will Oscar and Ava's friendship develop into more after their swim in the lake? Will Jack dig deeper into whether Isabella likes him? Stay tuned for the next episode, where Oscar develops his musical talent more and starts working on the year mix for 1996.